Hey guys, so I am here to film Period Talk Part 2. That video is quickly becoming the most viewed video that I have ever made, and it is easily the most video that I've gotten the most questions and the biggest response for, and it's absolutely ridiculous. I have even had my personal friends, Emily, come up to me and ask me when I'm making this video. And sorry to point you out there, Emily, and if you guys don't know who Emily is, she's my friend, because I have those occasionally. So I'm gonna go ahead and start answering the questions. I have them all here on my laptop, and usually in videos where I answer questions I like to say your name, but I felt that this video is kind of more private since we're talking about private things, so I am not going to be saying the names of the people in case they would be embarrassed. I just wouldn't want to embarrass anybody, so I figure better safe than sorry. Let's begin! Okay, first question. If you have pubic hair, should you shave that, or is it okay to put a tampon in with hair? Awkward question, I know, and I really want to know because I dance and I need to learn how to wear a tampon. First thing, you said awkward question. This is not awkward, this is natural. Austin always says it's not awkward unless you make it awkward, and I have found that to be true. Just don't be awkward and it won't be awkward. Okay, so what was the question? Can you put a tampon in with pubic hair? Of course you can. There's nothing stopping you there. You can go ahead and do that. It'll work. The second question is kind of about me. It's, what is your first period story? Well, my first period story, the first time that I got my period, I'm a late bloomer, guys. I did not get my period until freshman year of high school, and a lot of people are being like, oh my gosh, I'm in 7th grade, I haven't got my period yet. And I'm like, chill, it was freshman year, which actually isn't that weird. I think the ages of girls getting their period is just getting pushed back more and more, like they're getting it at younger and younger ages. But okay, so I was in child development, it was 4th period, my back was hurting a lot. That's my biggest thing, my back hurts like crazy. Like I don't get super bad cramps, but my back just like, ugh, I would rather die. No, I wouldn't, but my back was hurting a lot. I was like, I wonder if this is my period. So I went to the bathroom. Sure enough, it was. I'd been wearing a panty liner that day, so it was fine. And it was 4th period, so I just went home, and my mom wasn't home that day. I just called her up and I'm like, Mom, I got my period. I didn't say it like that. Mom, I got my period. And she's like, okay, well, what do you want? I'm at the store right now. I'll buy stuff, bring it home. Just got it all figured out okay. But follow-up story, later that night, it was a Friday 4th period, so later that night I was having a little party with some of my friends, and this is actually when I was also just getting to know Austin, and we were like flirting a little bit, and we both kind of knew that we liked each other. And I was like, I had learned how to put a tampon in by that time, so I went to the party and I had a tampon in, just a regular one, or no, this might have been the second day. Yeah, it was the second day, which is the worst if you girls know. And that's all I brought because I figured out I have a tampon and I'm fine. So I didn't even bring anything else with me. And so I was there and I felt like I was like leaking. So I went to the bathroom and I was like, oh, Mom, what do I do? And my mom was out of town, so my dad had to come get me. And it was just embarrassing. And Austin was like, you're not acting like yourself. And like at that time, I didn't know him well enough to just be like, dude, I'm on my period. But it was, that was embarrassing. Okay, third question. This question was asked like 5 million times, so I don't know who even put this one, because like a bunch of people did, because I mentioned discharge in my last video, and everybody is like, what's discharge? Discharge can basically be from 2 different things. First, it's your vagina's way of cleaning itself, so it gets like all the bad stuff out of there, and when it's just like a clear kind of fluid that you will probably just like find in your underwear. It's very different from if you have like a yeast infection, because like I thought I had a yeast infection at first, and you don't. It's very different. It's just like liquidy, clear. It's a little gross, but whatever. So it's for cleaning purposes, and then the second way, it's your body kind of preparing yourself for sex. Yeah. Because if you get your period, there's a week, like, there's 2 weeks before your period. 1 week is your, like, ovulation week. And that is a week that is just a lot of discharge because your body wants you to reproduce, and so it's kind of promoting you to reproduce, and that's like just the lubrication to kind of get things going. It's whatever, you know, it's not a big deal. If you have discharge, you're not crazy or weird or anything, you just wear a panty liner every day, and that's fine. It'll take care of it. You can just throw it away and then it won't ruin all your underwear. Next question is, what do you use at night? I use pad normally, but it is messy. Is there a way to avoid that? Yeah, at night I use a tampon, but not everybody likes tampons. That's kind of tricky because not everybody likes to use tampons, but for me, I know it's a mess because things just kind of run everywhere and can kind of create a mess. But if you're really not comfortable with using a tampon, you just use a maxi pad or like the overnight pads. They kind of look like a diaper. It's annoying and they are really uncomfortable and messy, but if you don't want to use a tampon, that's kind of your only option. And you'll be okay throughout the night, but still kind of messy. There's not really a good answer to that unless you like using tampons. I don't know. Next question. I'm almost 14 and I haven't gotten my period yet. And somebody responded to this comment and they said, doctors say if you don't get it by 14, notify them. So according to this person, on your 14th birthday, you should call up your doctor and be like, Doc, it hasn't happened yet. What do we do? Not true. The oldest woman to get her period was like 25, guys. You're like, you know, if you're like 13, 14, even 15, don't freak out that much. If you're 18, okay, talk to your doctor. Even 17, I would probably just mention it to them. But I mean, if you are under 14, do not freak out. It'll happen, and trust me, once it happens, you'll be like, oh, this is what I was missing? Can it go back to where I didn't have it? And I used to be like that because since I was like a late bloomer, all my friends had it, and I was like, I just want to get my period, and nobody can tell you no until you get it. And then when you get it, you're gonna be like, oh crap, they were right. But, I mean, everybody's gonna say no. Trust me, you don't want to get it yet. You're so lucky that you're older and you haven't gotten it yet. And you're just gonna be like, no, I want it. I want to be like everybody else. But trust me, they're right. You don't want it. Next question. For the first 5 days, there's lots of blood, and the last 3 days, there's only a little. Is that normal? That is absolutely normal because at the beginning of the week or the beginning of your cycle, there's a set amount of blood in your uterus, and that is just going to come out throughout the week. So it's not like there's going to be like new blood. Does that make any sense? Like there's a set amount and it's all just going to come out throughout the week. And at the beginning of the week, there's a lot more coming out, and by the end of the week, it's kind of just dribbling because it's basically almost gone. So it usually is the case where like the first 5 or so days, everybody's different. The first few days there's a lot, and then at the end of the week there isn't. So completely normal. Next question is, do all girls need tampons? And that is a definite no. You just need to use what is comfortable for you. Everybody's different. Everybody's bodies are different. We react to different things differently because we're different. So personally for me, I find it so much more comfortable to use tampon than a pad because pad is just messy. But I know people who are like, it just doesn't feel comfortable for me. Like I've tried a tampon, but I can like feel it inside of me and it's really uncomfortable and I just hate it, so I just prefer using pads. And it really is just up to you. It's not like your decision to use a tampon or a pad affects anybody else. So just do what's comfortable for you, so whatever. Next question is, what do you do if somebody looks in the cracks of the bathroom stall and sees what you are doing when you're putting a pad on? That's kind of a funny question. What I think is kind of funny is usually pads are really noisy, even tampons. Like the packaging is like crinkly, so you can usually like hear when somebody else is doing that, but I've never thought of somebody like looking under the cracks of the stall and seeing that. I don't know. Well, I mean, if it's a women's bathroom, they should probably be understandable about what you're doing. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that one. It's kind of, everybody knows that it happens for girls. If you're in a women's bathroom, you should probably just feel comfortable about it. If you don't make it awkward, it won't be awkward. That should be like the theme of this video. If you don't make it awkward, it won't be awkward. All right, next question is, how long are you supposed to wear a pad in for a day? Wait, for in a day. How long are you supposed to wear a pad for in a day? Oh, got it. That kind of depends on how much blood there is. Like the first day is usually, I don't know how to explain this. Like a pad is easy to check up on. If you go to the bathroom and you see that there's only like a little bit of blood on the pad, then you can obviously wear it for a few more hours. But if you go and it looks like you're like about to overflow and it's not gonna hold anything else, then you should probably change it. And you know, on the second day, for me at least, I know some people it's the first day is like really heavy, but for me it's the second day. You know, you would have to change it more often, but then at the end of the week you don't have to change it as often, which kind of goes back to the earlier question. So it kind of just depends on your flow, man. Your flow. But usually it's about like 4 to 5 hours, unless you're going to bed. I don't think that you need to like wake up halfway through the night and change it, that's when you have to use the overnight or the maxi pads or whatever. Okay, so the rest of these questions are emails that I got. Again, I'm not going to say who said it just because I don't want to embarrass anybody. First email was concerning swimming with tampons or swimming on your period, and a lot of people were like, what do you do if you want to go swimming? I'm on a dive team, I'm on a swim team. Me personally, I used to be on a swim team. This was my first year that I actually didn't do the swim team. But if you go swimming, you have to use a tampon. You cannot put a pad on your bathing suit. That's not going to work. One thing about that though is when you're in the water, I don't know how this works. I guess it's like the pressure of the water and the pressure of the blood that would be coming out of your vagina. No blood comes out when you're in the water, but it's when you get out of the water. I've seen it happen to girls on the swim team before when they get out of the water and it just kind of starts gushing. It's so embarrassing. So if you're not comfortable with using tampon, I would say not to go swimming. Sorry, my phone is going off. I would just say to not go swimming when you're on your period. It's not a good combo. Next email, oh my gosh, I like freaked out when I read this email, and I'm so sorry. It's been like over a week, so this problem was probably over for you. But this girl was, I don't know how old she was, but she had just gotten her period and she was on like her second or third day or something, and she was afraid to tell her mom and she didn't know what to do about it. You should definitely tell your mom. If you don't tell your mom, or if you don't have like a mother figure in your life, definitely just, you know, tell whoever would be able to help you, because you need to get your feminine supplies and take care of that. And you know, it's always nice to have somebody there for you as well. At least tell a friend. An older friend maybe that has already gotten their period would be able to help you, but it's definitely not something you should be scared of. I mean, as a girl or a woman, I guess you're more of a woman if you're getting your period, it's natural, so it's definitely not something you should be afraid of or scared of or whatever. The next email was, I had an accident in school and I had no pads or tampons. This is a good thing because, this isn't a good thing, but you know what I mean. I hope so. This is a good thing to bring up because all health rooms in school, I'm pretty sure it's all health rooms, it's been this way in every school that I've ever been to. If you go to the health room and you tell them that, they have stuff there for you, and it's the cheapest of the cheap. Like, it is not always brand, it's like the cheap brand or whatever. It kind of sucks, but you know, it's better than nothing. So if you go to the health room, they would be able to like give you stuff, and if you just felt that you wanted to go home, you could say, can I just call my mom? I don't want to deal with the rest of the school day like this. Like if it's your first time, you know, you want to go home and talk to your mom about it. You don't want like the health room lady to have to give you stuff. So, but she can give you stuff. They can usually, he or she, I don't know who's in your health room. Gosh, my phone, I'm really sorry. So they can give you stuff, and then, you can call your parents and maybe they can come pick you up. This is the last thing, and this was also, I got a million different emails like this asking the same question basically, and it is, at what age are you supposed to get your period? Everybody and every body is different, so it really depends. Like I said, the oldest lady to get her period, I read this on some article on Google, so I don't know how reliable it is, but she was 25, and then I also know that there are girls as young as 6 getting their period. It's absolutely ridiculous. I think the average age is usually like 12 to 14, but it can be much earlier and it could be much later. There's no way of knowing. I mean, you'll be able to tell kind of when it's coming up when you're going through puberty that it's probably gonna start happening soon. So ways that you can tell maybe is like if your breasts are developing a little more, if you're starting to grow hair in places like pits that you never had hair before. That is probably a sign that it's probably going to happen within the next, I don't know, like 4 years at the most. I don't know. But then, like I told you my first period story, my back was hurting me like so much. My lower back, not your whole back, it's usually your lower back. It was just hurting me so bad, and I was like, can I go to the bathroom? And I went to the bathroom and yep, I was right. And that was the first time that I had ever gotten it. I was kind of just like an instinct that I knew what was happening. So really there's no age. So I really hope that from that you guys learned that don't be embarrassed if you are really young and you have gotten your period. Don't be embarrassed if you're older and like in high school and you haven't. Don't be embarrassed if you like have hair down there, because that is all natural. That is all what is supposed to happen to our bodies. And I feel that a lot of times girls are like pressured to like shave their areas and whatnot, but it's our bodies. Every girl is like that. It is natural. I just feel like so many girls are shamed into doing things because it's the social standard, and I hate that. Or like, not shamed into doing things, shamed into like feeling bad about their age and their body's maturity level. It's just, I don't know, it's kind of crazy and it bothers me. So I hope that I answered all of your questions. If you guys have more, I don't know what else I haven't covered, but you can get as detailed as you want. I promise I'll answer it. And this time it's actually not like 2 in the morning. I had the guts to do this video during the day. Holla. But yeah, if you have more questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. If you don't want to leave them in the comments below, you can send me a message on YouTube, or you can send me an email. My email is msellenmelon@gmail.com. And it's always in the description, I think. There's like 1,000,001 different ways to contact me. I also have a Twitter, it's at msellenmelon. Everything is msellenmelon. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! I really need to come up with a new outro because I hate, bye! I don't like it. Peace, yo! Is that better? Is that ladylike? Home thug. I'm probably the whitest girl, you know. Or like, everybody has names for their subscribers. Like, Trisha Paytas, she has like, and all my kissies for my fishies, which is so cute, but I can't do them. I can't do it. Everybody has a sign off but me. Maybe I'm just not cool enough.